Hey guys, remember when I played Breath of the Wild to 100% completion? Well, I did it again! Why, Nintendo? Hello everyone, I am ChrisMarioMaster, and I never would have imagined I would have to make a sequel to my Breath of the Wild video, but here we are. This time, I'm gonna focus on the DLC and my experiences with Master Mode, rather than discussing the main game, as I've already done so in my previous Breath of the Wild video. Let's start with the first DLC pack, the Master Trials. Does anyone remember the infamous Eventide Island Shrine? You know, the one that stripped Link of all of his inventory and forced you to defend yourself against enemies with nothing but sticks and other weapons you could scavenge? Well, welcome to the Master Trials! 45 consecutive rooms of nothing but sticks, nakedness, and lack of healing items, where if you die, you must start over from scratch. I played through the Master Trials in both normal and hard mode, and I can strangely say that in normal mode, the levels got harder as I played them, but in Master Mode, they got easier as I played through them. The Master Trials consisted of 3 sections, the beginning, middle, and final trials, meaning that you fortunately don't have to complete all 45 rooms in one run. You get to save after every section. But let me give you a breakdown of what each section was like. The beginning trials were the easiest on normal difficulty and the hardest on hard difficulty. You're probably thinking, isn't that a little ass backwards? Well, you'd be right to think that, but let me explain. There is one, and only one room in the beginning trials that is practically unbeatable. And of course, its true difficulty only shines in Master Mode. The beginning trials, Room 10. The layout of this room is simple. There are 3 Lizalfos facing away from each other, standing on a wooden circular platform. Link starts on a bridge that connects to the platform, and there just so happens to be a Lizalfos directly facing Link as soon as you spawn. And that is when the fun begins. Before I continue though, keep in mind that in Master Mode, all enemies are upgraded. Black enemies become silver enemies, silver to gold, etc, etc. The Lizalfos in normal mode are black, meaning they have about 300 health. But in Master Mode, they're silver, packing almost 900 health, and there's 3 of them. So, basically, you have to kill 3 silver Lizalfos with nothing but the cheap, frail weapons that you've picked up in the previous floors. Now that doesn't sound too terrible, but wait, there's more! In Master Mode, if you don't attack an enemy frequently enough, they begin to self-heal, undoing all of your progress on their damage. And because the whole room is covered in water, one bad hit, and the Lizalfos will ragdoll right into the water, will proceed to heal himself as he swims back, then kill you in 2 or 3 hits. The strategy to beating this godforsaken room is so precise and frustrating that I can make a whole video just about this room. But for the sake of this video, I will move on. If you want to see how truly hard this is, look it up yourself. The middle trials were alright. Not too easy, not too hard. As long as you're good with a bow and arrow, you're pretty set. That's pretty much all there is to say about it, I don't know. Then come the final trials. More than 20 floors of hell, complete with lightning, lava, guardians, and Lynels. These trials were actually pretty easy thanks to the trusty ancient arrows you're blessed with, which take care of anything that seems too hard to kill. Actually, the only reason this was easier for me on Master Mode than normal mode was because originally I thought you could kill only Guardians with ancient arrows. But that one's on me, not the game, so I can't really get mad. So, after completing all the trials and walking up the flight of stairs leading to the true end of the Master Trials, Link awakens the Master Sword's true splendor, permanently allowing the Master Sword to stay glowing and do a constant 60 damage, while still being a one-handed sword. And let's not forget that its durability goes up significantly while only taking 10 to 15 minutes to recharge when broken. Overall, I think the reward for completing the trials has significantly more value if the trials are completed earlier in the game, because by the time I had even thought about doing the Master Trials, I already had weapons that were of equal or greater strength than the fully upgraded Master Sword. But then again, having an unbreakable weapon capable of that much damage is pretty cool. I give the Master Trials 4 Links out of 5. Now let me talk to you about Master Mode. In my experience, the first 2 or 3 hours of my run on Master Mode felt less like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and more like The Legend of Dark Souls Breath of the F*** You. The hardest part was at the beginning of the game. Me just trying to make my way through the Great Plateau without getting brutally murdered was a challenge in itself. And remember how I said before that every enemy is bumped up a color in Master Mode? Well, imagine seeing some silver bokoblins right out the gate in this mode. I mean, geez, give me a break. So, while I was doing my best to sneak around nearly every goddamn enemy, I did happen to run into something that nearly gave me Vietnam flashbacks. You put a Lionel in the beginning area. You put a Lionel in the beginning area. You put a Lionel in the beginning area! Whose idea was this? I get that this is hard difficulty, but this is just kicking me while I'm down. The developers of this mode went out of their way to program a Lionel into the area where you're supposed to be getting the hang of how to play the game. A Lionel, the strongest mini-boss in the game. Oh sure, let me just walk up to it and beat it to death with my fucking sticks, cause that'll work. While the beginning is challenging, after finally getting some hearts and upgrading some armor, the game becomes just as easy as normal mode, with the exception that enemies just take slightly longer to kill. It obviously wasn't that hard if I managed to 100% the game in less hours than my first run. Granted, I knew exactly what I was doing the whole time. And speaking of that 100% run, let's go down the checklist again. 120 shrines, 83 side quests, all armor fully upgraded plus amiibo this time. Every single location on the map visited, another 900 fucking korok seeds, and the medals of honor for the Moldugas, Phoenix, Keelton? What the hell do you mean I only killed 19 out of 40 Phoenixes? I killed every single one! Oh, did I forget to mention this? The DLC destroys this fucking game. There are plenty of videos online showing how not only does Master Mode cause problems for this game, but also how the Master Trials tear this game apart. People are able to get multiple Hylian shields and recollect already collected korok seeds, because when you warp out of the Master Trials to anywhere else, the game is in sort of an untouched state. But if that isn't bad enough, the game also won't give me the Medals of Honor for the Phoenixes and Taluses, because all the Phoenixes and Taluses have been upgraded, meaning no red Phoenixes and no stone Taluses. So the game is telling me that I missed all of the red Phoenixes, even though in Master Mode, they don't f***ing exist! Were they not thinking when they did this? It's been weeks, and there still hasn't been a patch for this. I loved Nintendo, but come on. I want my damn medals. Aside from that, everything else was a lot smoother this time. Like, I didn't miss any korok seeds, since I'm not looking at guides from different resources. By the way, huge props to Terminator8464 for the helpful guides. And I already knew what I needed to upgrade my armor with, so I didn't sell any of those materials on accident this time. Now, I need to wrap things up because this script is getting way too long for my taste. As of now, I have completed The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild twice, with a grand total of 240 shrines, 1,800 korok seeds, 166 completed side quests, and a combined total of 515 hours of gameplay, or a little over 3 weeks straight. Last time, I said I was sad to see Zelda go, but this time, I'm just relieved it's over. And there's still more DLC to come out this holiday season, and woo boy is it gonna be fun! Fortunately this time, it just looks like it's an extension of the story, and not anything as crazy as a new difficulty, or anything like that. I'll probably make a video about it when it comes out though. But for now, I can safely disembark from the Zelda hype train, and get on something else. Like, the Odyssey hype train! Woohoo! Just 2 more months! See you then! Bye!